Tonight's show is all about exercise, and that's a great thing, right? But how much exercise is too much, and what effect will it have on your heart?
Yeah, I don't smoke. I drink, but moderately, and I'm not obese, I'm not overweight. So he looks at me and he goes, I see a 60-year-old heart on paper, but I'm looking at a 40-year-old man.
Also, a story of a woman whose heart went into sudden overdrive and was beating so fast, she almost went into cardiac arrest.
Like you feel like you are not able to breathe anymore, and then you let go the breath and they kind of lifted me up with my legs so that all the blood can rush back to the heart.
We reveal what happened to her right here on
Let's Talk About Health. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Sonia, do you work out a lot? You look like you got some guns.
You know what? Yes, just enough to like open my favorite bottle of peanut butter or something, but only when I'm in the mood, you know? It's not all the time. But I think the question we want to ask today is, what happens to our hearts when we exercise? Is it a good or a bad thing? Is too much bad for you? I don't know.
We'll find out.
But joining us for tonight's discussion is Paul Foster, Laanya Asogan, and Dr. Peter Chang. Welcome, you guys.
Hey guys, come on out.
Hi.
Hey. Hello, hello, hello.
Looking good.
Well, this is by far the best looking panel we've ever had.
Oh.
Don't let our other guests hear that, by the way.
Paul, Laanya, you guys are part of a new show called Chemo Khakis, and this is all about intense kind of physical activities. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's a show where we were both team leaders, and we would get 2 contestants to join us, each. And we would be training in the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy to kind of showcase what it's like to be a soldier.
So, Laanya, what sticks out for you with the show?
Well, it was the jump. We got to do a tandem jump for the Commando Airborne episode. It was the first time I got to do a jump, and my heart was in my throat.
Why do people say that? Doctor, why do people say heart?
That's probably what she ate beforehand.
Basically, her lunch is about to come out. Okay. Well, we're going to find out a little bit more about exertion and what it does to our heart. So we're going to kick it off with a little demonstration, you guys. So let's head on over. I have a question. I'm going to kick off with Doctor first.
Right.
So how much blood is pumped in a minute by like a healthy young heart at rest?
Well, you guys want to take a guess?
Laanya?
Well, I would say 7.
I would go with 6.
6.
Close.
Okay.
Close. So what's the answer?
Well, the answer is about 5. Between 5 and 6.
5 and 6. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, for an adult heart, this is roughly the size. Yeah, the size of a fist.
Okay.
And it weighs about, the weight of an iPad mini. Okay. So every time it contracts, it sends about 70 milliliters of blood. So if you do the math, your heart rate is about 70 times per minute. So in a minute, you should be getting about 5 to 6 liters of blood circulating through the heart.
That is pretty amazing.
Wow.
Okay, so right now we are going to show just how hard it is to pump blood out of a heart and into the body with our demonstration here. We got Paul going up against Laanya. We're going to give you a 1-minute timer.
Remember, you guys are going to have to hit the mark, okay?
Okay.
All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and go.
I started.
All right.
There you go.
Go.
That is a good start.
It's everywhere. It's getting
not
everywhere.
easy.
I know. I have
Side.
to.
Oh, that's pretty good. Laanya, you seem like you have good technique.
Wow.
Okay, 50 seconds left, you guys. Wow, Paul is doing really well.
I'm doing the fast.
Oh my God.
Rather than
vigorous
the
activities there.
Right. Laanya, go. Let me get in there.
Come on, Paul.
40 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, for the boys. For the boys. Come on.
What do you need?
Massage my shoulders. Let me try.
Okay, you do it.
30 seconds left, guys.
It's not coming like it's not
coming out everywhere.
Can we disconnect his?
Oh my
Ladies,
God.
you're
Am I
great.
losing tragically as always?
Actually, we are losing track.
20 seconds left, guys.
So
10 seconds.
I'm just gonna look cute. This is how you do it. This is how you don't do it, okay?
I'm just imagining this is what happens when you start
Look at it,
exercising,
stop.
right?
Oh,
Your-
10
your
seconds
pump-
left.
Your heart will
8,
pump faster.
7, 6,
Tragic.
5,
Truly.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And stop. We are done. Laanya, I'm sorry this looks like a murder scene right here.
I feel like he did it so much better than me.
Yeah.
To be fair, we didn't even hit the 6-liter mark.
Exactly.
And I was pumping, thinking, oh, I'm sprinting, I'm running.
Yeah.
My heart's pumping really fast. But you're saying 6 liters, 5 to 6 liters is resting heart rate of an average healthy heart.
Well, imagine the heart is actually pumping about 7,000 liters of blood a day.
Wow.
That's a lot of heartbeats,
Did
right?
it? Okay.
Because this seems excessive, and I know this is just the resting heart rate. So what's happening when we're doing triathlons? We're running,
Putting
20
stress.
miles in
Yeah.
a day. What does that do to you?
Yeah, so as cardiologists, we always preach to our patients to do moderate intensity physical activities. And what do I mean by that? Is you're basically doing jogging, freestyle swimming.
Right.
You don't want to do anything above that.
Oh.
So things like marathon running, triathlons, those are actually vigorous physical activities, and that could actually potentially be harmful for the heart.
So, Doc, I love training. You talk about the long marathon training and all that could be detriment to the heart.
Right.
How about the quick, hit sessions, the fast, sharp
Short.
sessions?
Like
Workout,
short and
super
painful.
intensity. Yeah.
Right.
And done.
So that's something that we actually have to tell you, is that during those periods of intense exercise and also afterwards, you are putting yourself at a higher risk of things like cardiac arrest or heart attack, because your body is just getting bombarded with a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So it's during those short periods, especially during recovery, if you were just jamming on a treadmill and suddenly you get off and sit on a chair,
Right.
those are actually very critical moments.
So we've been talking about a lot of warm-up and exercises. But
Right.
how about cool-downs?
Even more important.
Even more
depending
important,
on what
guys.
you have just done.
All right, well, that
makes
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many things we want to know about our heart. So, guys, right when we come back from this break, we have an incredible story about a woman who almost suffered a cardiac arrest because her heart started beating way too fast. We'll see you in a bit.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About Health. Last week, we actually got Paul and Laanya to put on heart monitors so we can monitor their heart's rhythm. Not sure what activities they were doing, but we'll find out. We've got an expert for this, though. Let's invite electrophysiologist Dr. Devinder Singh. Welcome to the set. Yeah.
Come on out, doctor.
Hey.
Oh, wow, he's in his full gear.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you are like an electrician for the heart. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely right. A common conception about heart problem is always blockages, but heart is an electromechanical pump. So apart from having arterial blood supply, you also need electric current in the heart to beat. So I'm a specialist who look after heart rhythm problems.
So, electric current, you're talking about for people who need to put in some sort of device?
Like pacemakers,
Yeah.
or sometimes their heartbeat is too fast and they need procedures to correct it, like an extra wire in the heart.
Amazing.
So basically, Paul and Laanya did a little test as well to monitor their
With
heart
the
rate.
event
Yeah.
monitor.
Yes.
Yeah, so how does that work?
These monitors are called event monitors. They are small stickers that can record your ECG continuously. And it's waterproof. You can run, shower, jog, and it just keeps on recording your heartbeat. And what it gives us information about is how fast your heart rate is, how slow it is, how does it behave when you are doing activities, or is there a rhythm problem? It has a small button on it. If you have symptoms, you can just press it. Actually, Laanya pressed many times.
Why? Don't expose me! Did you meet some cute people and you're like,
I didn't know what to do. I was like, wait, am I supposed to press it?
okay, let me just record it then. But
Okay.
this is more accurate than I would say like a watch, obviously, is it? To track your
Yes,
activities.
absolutely. Because a watch is monitoring your rate through sensors, but this is a ECG recording. You have a continuous ECG recording. But if you have a watch, you can actually record your ECG with those watches. But you have to specifically put your hand on a dial to record that ECG for that particular time only.
Actually, that's really good information to know, especially for a lot of us who are just like monitoring on our own at home, right? So anyway, for 3 days, the heart monitor recorded Paul and Lanya's activities. So here's what they did. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so you know what? We're going to take a look at the charts.
Yes.
Yeah, let's take a look at Paul's chart first.
Sure.
Okay, so you can see that there are two portions. One is the awake part when Paul was awake. It was 48 hours and 6 minutes of recording. You can see his average heart rate when he's awake is 89 and it ranges from 59 to 185 beats per minute. And his heart rate when he's sleeping goes down, which is expected, 71. And it ranges from as low as 49 to 140 beats per minute.
140 is pretty high for sleeping.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a nightmare or something when you are dreaming, your heart rate might go up. There is a lot of other information like abnormal rhythm. This term called VT, SVT or pauses, that means heart stops for more than 2.5 seconds. None of them is there. So your heart is actually beating absolutely
good.
well.
That is good.
And no rhythm problem.
Good news.
We can move to the next slide. We have some representative ECG recording.
Right.
You can see the top reading is heart beating slowly at the rate of 50 beats per minute. Each sharp spike is the heart contracting. And that is 6:35 a.m. in the morning when he's sleeping.
Okay.
But if we go down to the lower two strip is the time when we saw him doing exercise. The heart rate was about 170 or 180 beats per minute, which is expected to the level of activity you are doing.
That's right.
So
180.
absolutely normal.
You were normal?
good news.
Is he normal?
A relief.
I'll take normal for this. Yeah.
Okay, what about Lanya's results?
Okay, let's
Here we
bring up Lanya's results.
Wow,
So,
40.
to our surprise, you can see on the left side is awake heart rate is 79. Paradoxically, changes to heart rate of 105 beats per minute. So it appears that she's a night person.
Hey girl, I see you at the club.
So her average heart rate at 105 beats per minute is not normal for a person who is sleeping. Totally reversed. You can see her heart rate ranges from 60 to 186 beats per minute.
Yeah.
And as Paul's result, there is no rhythm problem. Heartbeat is absolutely normal.
Glad we're
But we can
healthy.
move to next slide. This is her heart rate at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Whoa, girl.
This is 180 beats per minute. So it's totally opposite of a normal, actually.
I feel exposed. I was working, so I was actually performing through the night.
Yeah.
And
Also, this is the level of activity you are doing.
yes.
Okay.
I guess this is normal then?
Yeah,
this
is
is
normal.
healthy?
Normal.
It would have
Absolutely
been
normal.
a workout.
So it's important to correlate with activity as well.
Of course.
Let's say, if your heart rate is 180 when you are relaxing on a sofa, that's abnormal. So
Right.
whatever we record, it must be correlated with the level of activity.
Dr. Devinder, we caught up with one of your patients. Now she's a mother of two, and just one day out of the blue, her heart just started beating so fast, and she had to go to the A&E. Here's what happened.
Hi, I'm Hitler, and I'm 48 years old, and I'm in education industry. We kind of conduct examination few times a year, and that particular day examination was all ongoing. So the busy things were all over. When this happened, actually I was just walking in a corridor in a school. And all of a sudden my heartbeat increased. You can feel that palpitation, very fast, and you can feel that in your chest. After a while, I started feeling a sharp ache in the heart, and then I felt very dizzy. And a few people came to my help. I went to GP. He checked my heart rate, 180, very high, and I did not realize it. He said that you can't walk out of the clinic. I am calling ambulance. That was scary. At that point, it was really scary. The paramedics really were trying hard to bring down the heart rate. And they were kind of telling me to calm down and this and that. I just kept on asking, is it going down? Is it going down? And paramedics kept asking me to breathe in deeply and relax to this thing to work. The A&E team kind of make you blow in the syringe. Blow until you feel a kind of tightness in your chest, like you feel like you are not able to breathe anymore. And then you let go the breath, and they kind of lifted me up with my legs so that all the blood can rush back to the heart.
So she had a condition called supraventricular tachycardia. It's actually a heart rhythm disorder where suddenly her heart rate becomes very fast. The common misconception among people is that SVT or supraventricular tachycardia is a heart attack. It is not a heart attack. It is an electrical problem, and it is totally different from having blockages in your heart arteries.
It's not life-threatening, but scary because at the back of your mind, it's always there that this attack can happen anywhere, anytime. My heart rate, because of this condition, it was never below 95. It's a normal for me. So for me, I will very slowly walk from the bedroom to the sofa, and I'll sit here for a few hours. And then I realized that if I were to get up very fast from the sofa, my heart rate would go to 110, 115 like that. It's very, very frustrating. For me to go slow with anything is a chore. So when I got to know that something is out there which can cure it, I was happy to go for it.
Surgery is one of the treatment of choice, and almost 99% of the time it is successful. Under local anesthesia, we get access to the veins through the groin. The reason we do it from the groin is because the veins are bigger there. And through those veins, we put in catheters inside the heart. Once we put that patient in fast heart rate, we can exactly map where this tachycardia or fast heartbeat is running, and we find a critical part of that circuit, and then through these catheters we just heat up the tissue there with radiofrequency current that breaks the circuit.
It is not a success for all the patients, but for me it was. So now I'm leading a normal life, so I'm doing everything that I used to do, and everything is now back to normal. It does change your life in many ways because your perspective starts to change. You should just do what you want to do, enjoy life, because anything can happen at any time.
Wow, so while we were watching that, the four of us, Paul, Laanya, Mike and myself, we were just like cringing. This is why we're not surgeons or doctors. We're like, whoa, what is going on? I mean, so doctors, is it possible to have something like arrhythmia and not realize that you have it?
Yeah, it's actually very possible that for these irregular heartbeats to happen sort of in the background. You might not even feel it. But when you actually do, most of the time you're actually your fast is going very fast. That's why the heart feels like it's palpitating, feels like it's jumping off your chest.
I didn't, it happened to me, and I was talking about it when we were on break. I didn't know that my heart was pumping, well over 100, and I was just sitting there. And then my watch told me, and then I just took some deep breaths, I calmed down. Right. And so I guess there is some benefits to having some sort of smart technology, I guess. I mean, absolutely. I wouldn't have known.
Don't forget, you always have your fingers this is a smart finger as well. You can just put it on your neck or put it on your wrist, and you can quickly figure out what your heart rate is.
Yeah, that's true.
And by the feel of the pulsation, you can also know whether it's a regular heart rhythm or irregular heart rhythm.
Sure.
I guess there's like Mike was saying, there's a lot of times maybe you don't realize, just if you don't have any real symptoms and you're not feeling anything, how do you know there's something wrong?
Yeah.
So
you might just dismiss it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are there certain factors that we should be aware of? Yeah.
I think there comes the role of screening as well.
Yes.
I think sometimes you may have heart rhythm problem during sleep. You might not even know it. So actually screening for risk factors is important, and screening for heart problem after 40 is also important.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I've got some blockage as well, calcification. And because of that, they said they wanted to limit all the risk factors that could contribute to potential problems. Right. Luckily, I don't smoke. I drink, but moderately. My diet's pretty healthy. I do exercise, and I'm not obese. I'm not overweight. So he looks at me and he goes, I see a 60-year-old heart on paper, but I'm looking at a 40-year-old man with all the right lifestyle choices at the moment.
Right.
But what we want to do is limit all your risk factors to prevent anything that could happen in the next 10, 15, 20 years.
So this is a genetic thing, the high cholesterol?
Yes.
So I have the same thing. I guess I need to go check because I've had high cholesterol my whole life pretty much, and I eat healthy, I try to do the right things.
Absolutely. So looks are deceiving because we don't know what's happening on the inside. Might definitely go for your screening. You got a couple of guys here.
I'm like freaked out right now.
I'm freaking out, Lucas. But it's time for a break. When we return, the doctors here have some great tips on how to keep your heart healthy. You don't want to go anywhere.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About Health. It's time for another Street Doctor segment, this time with Dr. Chang. Do you have any questions about the heart?
Oh, okay. Actually, local food are quite oily
Correct.
and salty.
Right.
But it's quite delicious as well. So how do we balance these two?
Yeah, so the one thing to watch out for, your arteries are pristine and clean the moment you're born. But thereafter, things are starting to pile up. Okay, so if you start eating an oily diet and salty diet, and if you start early on, then your artery will start to age a little bit sooner. I would say not totally rely on that kind of hawker food all the time. Once in a while, as a treat to yourself.
That means I need to control myself. Sit down. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, my question is, what's the difference between a heart attack and a cardiac arrest?
Oh, okay.
Good question.
Good. So heart attack is commonly known as this sort of chest pain, right? And people go into the emergency room by ambulance because they're having a heart attack. And that is when your arteries for the heart is blocked. So the heart, it cannot get any oxygen, blood flow. So it's getting distressed, it's getting attacked in a way, right? Because it's not getting any blood flow. And take that to the extreme. When the heart is deprived of blood and oxygen for too long, it goes into a rest, meaning the heart stops beating, there's no more circulation going around.
Okay, all right. Well, I hope that helps you. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
ladies.
Thank you so much.
I just got my full heart check 2 years ago, so I think I'm due again to that. So yeah.
Let me ask you, are you aware of the signs and symptoms of a heart attack?
Actually, I'm not too sure about that, doctor, because sometimes you have heartburn, you thought it's a heart attack.
Right,
But
correct.
actually, I usually have a lot of heartburn.
Right.
Yeah, so maybe a sharp pain, that's what I heard. Dull, sharp pain if it's a heart attack.
Well, it is called a heartburn for a reason, because it's actually coming from gastric acid refluxing up. And because of the esophagus sitting next to the heart, you feel that funny feeling on your chest.
Yep.
And that's actually more sort of, I don't know if you can feel the acid taste in your mouth as well when that happens.
Yeah.
But for a heart attack, usually described as very pressure-like sensation. People describe it as an elephant sitting on your chest, or a piece of rock, just heaviness on the chest, to the point where you can't breathe and you start sweating.
Yeah.
Can a heart attack come even though your heart checks out A-OK?
That's a very good point, because when you do these routine checkups, you're just trying to get ahead of the game, right? But the accidents still happen. Yeah, so there are conditions, these sudden heart attacks, that are still not avoidable. Yeah, so I would say if you can just sort of get yourself in a good shape and prevent the natural course of your arteries getting blocked, you're already ahead of the pack.
Okay.
All right, well,
Yes.
thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your lunch.
Thank you, bye.
Well, that was really interesting. You guys picked up a lot of great questions there.
Yeah, we sure did. It was a fun day.
Yeah. So before we let you guys go, any advice you want to give our viewers here today?
Yeah, I think I'll go first. I think for the few of us who are over the age of 40, there is so-called occult heart diseases that's not picked up, it's not unknown. So before any of us go on and do strenuous activity, make sure, maybe a cardiologist give you a look over first, do some screening tests.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to tell more younger patients or more younger people that you have to start early if you want to have prevent heart problem in future. So those who are in their 20s and 30s, make sure that you lead a very healthy life so that you can prevent events that can occur during their 40s, 50s, or 60s.
So many of us wait till we're 40. Oh, I don't need to worry about that.
Yes.
I was just going to celebrate, like, maybe we don't have to go yet. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
But
we can.
healthy.
Woo.
Everything in moderation, right?
Live a balanced lifestyle.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, with that, guys, a big thank you to Dr. Peter and Dr. Devinder. We learned a lot tonight, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Also, Paul and Laanya, thank you so much. That was very helpful. I love watching your day in the life videos earlier on. We'll see you next time on Let's Talk About Health.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to check out We Need to Talk About This on our digital platforms.
What causes ED?
The main cause of ED is actually due to blood flow issues, what I call vasculogenic. We do see young patients who present to us with erectile dysfunction. We find, and then it could be what I call a latent cardiac disease that they have. And a lot of times can be due to stress. We do see that in young couples who are trying to have children.